sing. Every soul finds a place to cling. Join us today, feel the warmth inside in the Barnside Chat, where the love won't hide.
Each week, I try to figure out what all these stories have in common, and this week I think the answer is pretty obvious. Everyone is just trying to get home. Noah has finally left quarantine and moved over to the stall barn. Lambert has moved into a much bigger space, and for the first time in what feels like forever, his head is completely bandage free. Sammy is almost ready to go back with his family, and Winston is coming home. When? That's a great question, because apparently our truck heard the good news and decided it too would like some medical attention. That check engine light came on last night, which feels particularly rude considering we have just incurred roughly $4,000 with new tires and brakes. But now the light's on. But Winston's ready, we're ready, and the truck is at the mechanic deciding if it has a minor fix that's needed or if it's going to become a very large, expensive lawn ornament. We'll talk all about that. We'll also talk to you about Burlington Veg Fest, where this weekend we spent the weekend talking about farmed animals with thousands of people. We had a really great, wonderful day here at the sanctuary with tours. We've got resident updates. We'll see what's happening around the farm. And as always, we'll dig into the magic rainbow bag. Pull up a bale, let's catch up and spend a little time in Esther's world.
Love lives here where the open skies sing. Every soul finds a place to cling. Join us today, feel the warmth inside in the Barnside Chat, where the love won't hide.
Hello friends, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you're tuning in from today. Welcome to Heath's Barnside Chat. My name is Derek. I'm Executive Director, Co-founder, and host of today's Barnside Chat. It's so good to see everybody. We're in Canada. Where are you located? I'm going to see if I can get some comments coming through here today. We have a lot to talk about in typical Barnside Chat format. Welcome to the show. We had a great week here. We'll do some resident updates, we'll do facilities updates, and then we'll take some questions from the Magic Rainbow Bag. And if you have questions that you would like to make it into the Magic Rainbow Bag, all you have to do is put it in the comment feed below. There we are. Hello, Shirley. Hey, Deb. Hey, Linda and Brooke and Sylvia and Gail. I appreciate all of you showing up today. I love getting together and going over everything that's happened here at the farm. Last week we said goodbye to our dear friend Obama, and this is Obama's gravesite. I went for a walk and was delighted to see that a box of Fig Newtons was on his grave. Obama is buried directly across or beside Jeannie, however you imagine the direction, but he is right next to her. And this last week we did something new. We asked for condolence messages to be sent to a particular link, and here's a couple of them that were super touching and that I want to share with you. I wish you knew how much joy you brought into my life. Watching you live your life from afar has been a privilege. Thank you for being you. Rest easy, my friend. This is one of hundreds of messages that came in across social media and to the particular link. Our kind admin volunteer, Christine, will put a link in the comment feed below if you missed a chance to leave a note for Obama. This one said, "Beautiful Obama, you brightened up my day whenever I saw your gorgeous face. If someone who never met you loved you so, I can only imagine all of the love you got in person. I know you took a whole bunch with you." And that he did. Last week, you got a chance to go down a journey, an Obama journey road, and all of these beautiful memories flooded our feeds with Obama. And I just want to thank you all so much for showing up for Obama's life for 10 years at the sanctuary, and now, even that he's gone, you continue to show up. So thank you so much. Okay, let's get right to it. Let's start off with news that I know that everybody has been waiting for, and that is news on Winston. Winston is ready to come home to the sanctuary. He's resting easy at the Ontario Veterinary College, and we've finally started, we're at a point in the plan where we can start the next part of his journey, and that's coming home to the sanctuary. Now, home for Winston doesn't immediately mean wandering around the sanctuary and making new friends. He's got a little bit of a more healing journey ahead of him for his feet, and for his muscle injuries, for his prolapse injury, and for his hernia injury. But it will all begin in quarantine, so we'll take it slowly, and he is ready for the next step, which is beautiful, and this is huge, having him come home, and we'll take it one tiny problem at a time. And I know you're all rooting for dear Winston. While he's at the hospital, he had a catheter put in his jugular for medicine, and every other day he's getting sedated for foot care. You might remember, okay, close your eyes if you're squeamish and you don't want to see medical photos. Here is a medical photo of what his feet looked like when he arrived. Okay, close your eyes, here it is if you want to see them and know what we're up against. So the bottoms of his two front feet look like that. That was last week, and now that's this week. So you can see a whole lot of granulated tissue has come in, and they're looking a lot better. Okay, that photo's gone. I'll put a photo of his cute face up there. So he's ready to come home. We're ready to take the next step, and that's huge. But our truck, the truck check engine light just came on, and it's currently at the mechanic getting looked at, and Winston's transport depends on what they find. So there's basically two stories here that could happen. One is that the mechanic says that it's no big deal and they were able to fix it, and that's wonderful, and I love that version. But the next version could be that I saw a few faces from the mechanic when we dropped it off and he initially diagnosed it. And so he kind of made a face and he kind of said, so it could be this, and that would be really bad. And it's to deal with oil pressure. And I'm not going to go there, but I most certainly enjoy the first version. I do not enjoy the second version. And especially, since we just put $4,000 into the truck with new tires and brakes, we've yet to get that invoice, but apparently the truck saw Winston's veterinary bills and thought, nobody's paying attention to me anymore, I'd like some more money. But one way or another, we know that Winston is ready to come home. He's resting with his teddy bear, which I can't tell you how adorable and how much that warms my heart. His quarantine space is waiting for him here, and we are waiting, and sometime very soon that tiny but yet huge, beautiful boy is going to arrive here at the sanctuary, and I can't wait to say that he's finally home. Oh yeah, fingers crossed that the truck is ready. That is definitely on my mind. Okay, the next resident update is our dear Lambert. Check this out. You might not recognize him because he doesn't have that head wrap anymore. Lambert doesn't need to have his head wrapped anymore. It's over. We don't have to do that anymore. His surgical site is scabbed over beautifully. Things are looking, really well. And the instructions now are basically just to leave it alone and unless something changes, which means that Lambert has officially he's graduated this and he's in his new space. So a round of applause for Lambert. Okay, I'm going to show you the site. If you're squeamish about healing updates and you don't want to see, close your eyes just for a moment. I'm going to show everybody where we were. Here it is. This is the hole that was in the top of Lambert's head when he arrived back from the Ontario Veterinary College after having his horn removed. Here it is healing, and then we took the stitches out. It healed all the way in, and that's the top of his head now. It's beautiful. Okay, all the icky photos are off the screen, so you don't have to worry about that. But he's officially graduated from his head wrap, and I suspect that Lambert is really happy about that development. Because one thing that was in the notes about his last head wrapping was that he was trying to head butt everybody while he was doing it. So he's doing what a baby lamb should be doing. So here are all of his things put into a wagon and moved across the sanctuary to this spot. And now he's busy out there hollering at everybody as they come in and out. So we're super thrilled about Lambert that he got to graduate this past weekend. And what else is going on? I think it's safe to say that we're going to discontinue that treatment of like having to wrap his head entirely, but we will start wrapping his back feet because they are a bit bow-legged, and they bow out, and we stopped wrapping them when he went and had his head surgery because it was just too much wrapping. He would have just been completely wrapped up, and that's not a great life to live when you're all wrapped up. And so we took the most serious thing, which was his head wound, and kept that wrapped safely and kept infection at bay. I was just amazed because he literally had a hole that you could drop a large coin into. And the caretaking team did amazing with Lambert's healing, and this is awesome to see. Whenever I see that little wagon full of resident belongings, I know that it's moving day and that they get to go home. So what else is going on? We have Noah. You all want to know about Noah's journey, and you got a chance to see Noah move from the stall barn and he got to move. He's officially out of quarantine. And after everything that little guy's been through, he now gets to move into a much larger stall with new noises and new smells and new neighbors. And here's his little journey as he made his way out of quarantine. We're so proud of you, Noah. Noah's with all the new noises and the smells and the neighbors, and he wants to experience all of that right now, all at the same time. And he's been very enthusiastic about breaking out of his stall whenever somebody comes in, which is no surprise. So the caretaker team are using treat balls as a perfect distraction, which is basically the pig equivalent of handing a toddler an iPad for a perfect distraction. He's been getting supervised time outside, and according to the caretaker notes, he loved it. And so he's had unmanaged time, like he's had unsupervised time inside and out, and we're keeping a close eye on him. And however, one thing has gone not super according to plan And we're still keeping a close eye on that infection, that skin infection, because a small irritation showed back up just under his eyes on his face. So we are continuing chlorhexidine wipes daily on that face and monitoring it. But overall, this is a very different little pig than the one who arrived here. And watching him start his journey in the stall barn, I gotta say, I love it. And I hate it too, because, and two things can be present at the same time, because every morning, very close to the house is where the quarantine area is. And it was my duty and my honor to spend my mornings with him before coming across to this barn. So I don't have that routine anymore, but I'm building new routines, and I'll build new routines with Winston as he gets here, because I know he's going to require a lot of one-on-one care. Okay, next resident update is with Sammy. And if you've been following along, you know that Sammy has been dealing with a nasty hoof infection. We've done foot soaks, and there have been countless trims, and there have been antibiotics, and there have been pain medications, and there's been stall rest, a lot of stall rest. He got removed from his herd. And then there's Sammy that's making it extremely clear that he would prefer everybody to stop fussing over him and just go open the door and fill his bog already. And so Sammy did get to go outside, and he did get a chance to go in his bog, but overall we're pleased with the healing. His hoof is looking much better. We're no longer soaking it. The pain medicines have been reduced. And if everything goes according to plan, Sammy is scheduled to go back home with his family on Wednesday. And here's caretaker Nicole looking at Sammy's tail, because he got a small abrasion on his tail, and it kept sanding it away, like against the wall if he sat too close to it. And it's been a tough healing on that tail, but the real healing has been on that front hoof. And when he got let outside, he didn't get 2 steps outside, and he had his face in the dirt, eating the grass. It's We're glad that Sammy's going to get to go outside with his family on Wednesday. He gets his routine back, which he loves. He gets his friends and family back, and Sammy is almost there. Okay, and while all of that's going on, there's so much that goes on. We spent a pretty big chunk of the weekend outside of the sanctuary. And let me see if I have it. Oh yeah, here it is. Here's a video. On Saturday, we packed up the Heaf's tent and headed to Burlington Veg Fest. There was somewhere around 20,000 people at the festival. Now, obviously, we didn't speak to all 20,000 people, but I can assure you they all saw the big pink balloon. We spoke to a lot of people, people that had never heard about Happily Ever Esther, people that already knew us, people interested in volunteering and visiting, and people wanting to know more about the animals that live here. And rescue is part of our mission, care is part of that mission too, but so is getting out there in our community with some advocacy. Yeah, oh, there, the video's over. Sorry about that, I left you hanging. So this is them setting up the tent and setting up the balloon, and they did all of this. This was a great day. As you can see, the weather cooperated, although it was a touch windy, but bringing 20,000 people to check out the Veg Fest, that's amazing. And hopefully we'll be getting some new volunteers and supporters through that advocacy work. This weekend, also at the farm, we had tours, and the tours, let me get a photo, check it out. In the Wonder Arena, we had about 40 people show up. They came out to They heard about it on the interweb, either through an event page that we had no idea that put the information out there and didn't include all of the information. Sorry about that, friends, if you heard from the Waterloo newspaper post and it created a bit of chaos on the weekend. But around 40 of you showed up, and that's awesome. That's a fantastic turnout for us. And I love watching these tours, getting to see people, you know, inevitably people arrive and they know nothing about the sanctuary, but you know, maybe an hour later you see them in the arena having a deep personal conversation with one of the pigs. And that's the magic of sanctuary, is getting people to witness farmed animals firsthand, and you get to see their personalities, and you get to tell somebody about the cows' friendships that they have together, and that's the magic of sanctuary. If you'd like to come and visit us for a tour, there's still chance to come out, and you can go to happilyeveresther.ca, and yeah, you can get your tour tickets. These are the tour dates that are left. Here we are. If you squint, you can see that the next tour is September 27th. And sorry, is that what that says? Yeah, September the 27th. And we would love to have you out here. You can register, and then you can get a bucket of food and carry it around, and you get a chance to meet all of the residents firsthand. And this weekend, it was a busy weekend. Not being here at the sanctuary and doing the advocacy work. The painting around the property continues, and painting a working farm sanctuary turns out to be slightly more complicated than just painting a normal building, because normal buildings generally don't contain, you know, cows who would like to investigate what you're doing, or pigs that would like to help out. At one point this week, all of the cows managed to get paint on themselves, which resulted in what may be my favorite aftercare note of the week, where it says they all have paint on them. It's not blood. I thank you for that clarification, because if you went and visited the cows, you would see that they had some paint on them that they had rubbed off on them. There was a spill that happened, and they got into that spill. So gates were being moved, areas were temporarily closed, and paint, you know, there was paint debris that had to be cleaned up out of some of the areas where power washing had flaked away some of the paint. So there's been a lot of rigmarole around painting, but it's one of those perfect examples of sanctuary life. You think it's just painting a barn, and then 3 hours later you're moving the cows, and you're explaining why the cows are red. I can't wait to show you the sanctuary fully painted out. It is almost ready. They have a couple more days left. And then those of you that contributed to the Summer Sparkle campaign, I'm going to update you all with special photography. We'll send that out to all the supporters. And yeah, it looks amazing. I think I've done all. Oh no, I have not done it all. Look at me, I'm going to skip out on it. It's time for the Magic Rainbow Bag. Questions from the week. Let's see. Questions from the week. There are a few of them. Here's the first one. First question. Will Noah and Eleanor be installed side by side in the stall barn? No, not right away. So Noah is in the stall barn, and Eleanor, is in the arena. But then they'll move side by side, and we'll get to see that. But it's Noah has to go for his this is my neuter surgery motion. He needs to go for his neuter surgery, and then after he heals, then he'll be introduced to Eleanor. It's like a movie taking place, a love story. Is Noah in his long-term living quarters now? Just adorable. Yes. So he's in his temporary quarters, but he's part of this barn cluster here. He's not over in quarantine. So he's in his side living quarters, and then he's going to move to the Wonder Arena. But again, that's all happening a couple weeks. Is it possible that Winston could fit in with Noah and Eleanor eventually? Wouldn't that be lovely? Oh yeah, that would be lovely. Yeah, that I contemplated that when we knew that Noah was going to make it. It was like, okay, now where's Noah going to go? And definitely in with those. It's and the acronym of their names, Noah, Eleanor, and Winston. So they're the new pigs. We didn't mean to do that. Okay, last question. Can pigs be leash trained? Yes, pigs can be leash trained, but that's not what we're doing here. Raising Esther, we leash trained her on a, where we would take her for a walk in the neighborhood, and she had a harness made out of seat belts. And we got to a certain point where it became unsafe to walk around the neighborhood with her, because it was surprising for people to see a pig being walked on a leash, and they would slam on the brakes and they would reverse up the street and go, is that a pig? And so we stopped walking Esther. But yeah, pigs can definitely be leash trained. Pigs are one of the smartest animals on the planet, next to chimpanzees and dolphins and elephants. They can absolutely learn how to walk on a leash. Okay, if I didn't get your question for this week's Magic Bag, I will take it out of the comment feeds and I will answer them next week. The weather's looking great here on the sanctuary. At the sanctuary, it's seasonal temperatures, nice cool nights, and it looks like a bit of rain in the forecast for next weekend. But that is that. Okay, one last thing before we have to head out. If you are a monthly donor, you should have received an email inviting you to an in-person special VIP donor celebration. Please check your email boxes, check your spam boxes. If you haven't received that and you are a monthly donor, please email us at info@happilyeveresther.ca. That special celebration, we're going to have some food and some drinks. We're going to walk around the sanctuary, and you get to see everything that was painted beautifully red. Okay. We started today off by talking about, everybody coming home, but I think now I want to change it to, I really mean that, that everybody's coming into just belonging. And for Winston right now, the sounds, his quarantine is waiting for him. And for Noah, it's seeing and hearing the other pigs for the first time. And for Lambert, for Lambert, it's more room to move around, and you don't have to have your head bandaged up. So those small things all week, that they all mattered. And we noticed when a teddy bear needed to be washed. We noticed a sore hoof, and we noticed that there were paint chips in the field that needed to be cleaned up. And the check engine light is on in the car, and there's so much that goes on. We'll keep you posted. Thanks for tuning in to Heath's Barnside Chat. My name is Derek. Thanks for believing in the world that Esther helped show us, one where kindness reaches farmed animals too. Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.
Love lives here where the open skies sing. Every soul finds a place to cling. Join us today, feel the warmth inside in the Barnside Chat, where the love won't hide.